Hello everybody and welcome to Kingdom of Amalur Re-Reckoning. So in all my great wisdom, I made a mistake. Well, I didn't make a mistake. I don't know how this happened. But the audio got horribly desynced. Like, even the game audio was desynced from the video. So it's not like, oh, I'll just correct my audio and fix it to the game audio. But no, the video game audio was off for like 5 seconds or something like that. I'm not sure, but I couldn't get the audio to work, and my audio was synced up to the video audio, and that was off by a little bit. So this is just me going through the entire quest line of Warsworn, and I'm just going to break down what I did and what happened at each part. So this section that you're looking at right now is me completing the preliminary quest to get into the Warsworn, to become a hireling. So I had to go kill this bandit and take his dagger and bring it back to this guy. So after that, I head all the way down to the Shieldgen Keep and I talk to this guy. And he basically says, oh, you got a recommendation from this guy I really trust? Well, bet. You're good. But, we got some work for you. Go meet some guy in some village and tell him to meet you at this bridge so you guys can do a patrol. So that's what I do. I grab a couple side quests here, which you might see in a later video. They're just bounties, go kill things and such like that. So you can look forward to that in the upcoming video. That's it. So I meet the guy in the village, tell him, hey, we got some work for you. He's like, bet, I need the money for my mom. And I'm like, all right, let's roll. So we get to the bridge, we meet the guy who got us into the Warsworn, and he's basically telling us the breakdown. There's some people going missing along this road. Our job is to find out what or who is taking these people. And that's it. He gives us the whole army sergeant routine, and we head off to go see what is. Oh shit. So I forgot this happened in the video. So I just want to show you close up what happened. This fucking dude's neck and shoulder pads freaked out and started rotating crazy. So after finding a couple clues, one of the other hirelings gets attacked and killed. We don't know who it is or what it is, so we continue to do the patrol, but this time we're keeping a closer eye out for our surroundings and making sure we're staying on guard. This time not we, but the captain saw what attacked the previous hireling, and now we're cornering it at the top of these stairs. And we're going to find out what's been attacking these people on this road. So we get to the top of the stairs, and Niskaru's there. Niskaru comes and murks one of the hirelings. I try to stop it, but not fast enough. So we kill this Niskaru, and I steal his stuff. Then we talk to the captain. And he pretty much tells us, what the hell's a Niskaru doing this close to the Feylands. And, we haven't seen a Niskaru in years. And he's like, something's not right. So he says we need to investigate and find out where Niskaru are coming from. So that's what we do. We go looking for the Niskaru. We find the Niskaru at this cave. This cave is a cave that used to be owned by a bunch of thieves. So it's full of traps and other thievery stuff. So he's giving us a breakdown on the cave. So we find this cave and we start searching it, and we find that there's these chaos mages who are a long-time enemy of the Warsworn, and they're using like dark magic, well, chaos magic, to summon Niskaru and control them. But to control Niskaru, you need even more magic. So here, after we kill the mages, the barriers that are holding them back go down, and the captain gets killed. Unfortunate, leaving just me to deal with the Niskaru Lord? No. Tyrant. Terror? This guy. This guy summons this giant Niskaru thing, and it murks him. Straight up kills him. So I activate my fate powers, go ham on him, and rip his head in half, essentially. Quick one and done. And that's it. We tear him apart. We deal with the Niskaru invasion? I don't know what you would call it. A Niskaru menace. So we go back and we tell the captain, hey, one of your best guys died, but Niskaru are, being summoned by chaos mages, and they somehow got a powerful artifact that was in the the Warsworn vaults. So the captain goes and tells us, hey, I'm going to need you to go to this other keep and tell this guy about it. I can't remember his name. We got to tell this guy about it. We got to tell him, hey, the Niskaru are back. They somehow got into one of our vaults and stole a powerful Niskaru artifact. I need you to go and find out how all this happened. Basically. So we get to the vault and we meet Gwen. She's a fellow Warsworn and protector of this vault. We get there, tell her, hey, we're here to help you. She isn't happy that they send a pledgeling or a pledge shield, one of the two. So inside we find a bunch of chaos mages. It seems like they've already gotten what they wanted. They were just leaving, or maybe they were still looking for something. Not 100% sure. But we kill them, and we head back to the. So we go back and we tell Graham, hey, yeah, there was a bunch of chaos mages in the vault, and he's like, hey, what the hell happened? How did that happen? So he assumes that Gwen let him in, so he locks her up. We found a key on one of the chaos mages. Somehow they got a replica key of the vault. A replica key for the vault. She didn't tell him about the key for the vault. So he asked me to go and investigate or go ask her some questions, see if she'll tell me anything else. So I go to the prison cells and talk to her to see what the hell's going on and why she didn't tell him about So I get to the prison cell and I ask her basically, what happened to your parents? Why are you so upset? What are you, what's going on here that you're not telling me? And she basically goes down the list of things that the Warsworn has kind of like been slacking and been like, sitting on their thumbs, essentially. And her parents were warning them about, Niskaru, their old enemies, and, great evil that was making its way back into the world. But they were kind of just waved off. So they went and tried to fulfill the prophecy, or fulfill like the I don't know what it's called, but when they tried to take the steps that were done in the past to defeat their enemies, but they weren't unable to, and at some point they died, and she's bitter over that. So she asked us to find out who made the key duplicate. That's basically what this sums up to. She wants us to go find out who made the key. The original key was made by a gnome. So we have to go find this gnome and see if he made the duplicate or if he knows who made the duplicate. So we get back to Graham, and while we was questioning Gwen, he went and checked his security room, his vault or whatever, to see if the key was taken from there. But it wasn't. So we know for a fact now that the key is a duplicate. So we just gotta figure out why the gnome made the duplicate. And that's basically it. He just tells us to go to the gnome's home and find out what he knows. Who did he make the key for? And so forth and so on. So I get to the gnome, and the Chaos Mages were there. They were trying to find him and kill him, I guess to cover up their tracks. Didn't work out for him because he locked himself in a secret room that can only be opened from the inside. So he tells us that one of the Warsworn, or I think she was a pledge shield, asked him to make the blade for him. Make the key for him. I said blade. Make the key for him. So he makes the key under the impressions that she has permission from Graham. But turns out she didn't. And she lied to him. So why did she lie and get a false key made? Well, let's find out why. So we go and tell Graham who made the false key. And he's like, what the hell? Why in the would she do that? So he's like super mad, super pissed off. So he runs over, arrests her, and for some reason, unknown to me, he asked me to go and question her. I don't know why I should be the one to question her, but whatever. I say yeah, and we head on down to the prison cells to question this girl. So we get down there, and she was totally simping for this guy. Her whole reason for getting the key was because this guy who was supposedly fighting on the front lines told her that the Warsworn had artifacts in their vault that would help them win the war. And she's like, oh, bet? Alright. So she goes and gets this key made, gives it to the guy, and then the guy gives it to the Chaos Mages for them to steal the artifacts to summon Noskaru into the world. So she basically simped, got played, and now she's sitting in a prison cell for the rest of her life. And it could be worse. She could be dead. So we tell Graham, hey, she was simping real hard. She gave the key to some dude who said that we weren't doing our part in helping in the war. And that's that. So we meet this guy. And we're like, hey, yo, who'd you get that key to? And he like, I ain't gonna tell you shit. But then I'm like, the jig's up. We know what's up. You can't bullshit me. And he's like, alright, fuck it. Look, some dude in the capital of the essentially the elves or some shit. So we get there, and I had to pause for a second. Check this shit out. Look at that bitch. Fucking bald headed. I was distracted at first because she had an ass on her, but then I saw it. So we get to this guy. We're like, hey, I know what's going on. He's like, shit. All right, fuck it. Go. It's around back. Just go. Don't fucking bother me no more. So I go down to this cave, find this guy. He's doing some dark magic bullshit. And I'm like, I'm here to stop you. He's like, no, you're not. And then he gloats about some bullshit. And I'm like, you a dumbass. And Scar gonna kill us all. No one can control him. He's like, hey, I got the skills. We about to win this war. And I'm like, all right, let's see. If you can defeat me, then you can pretty much do whatever you want. And he's like, hey, bet. Take me up on that challenge. So we fight. And when I say we, I mean like me and like 6 other members from his gang fight me. Is that him right there? I can't tell. I can't tell. The preview is real jacked up for me. And that dude jump and stabs me. But yeah, so I kill him, wipe him out, and we find out that they are on this island that one of the bad guys from the Chaos Mages from a long time ago went to find out how to summon a Niskaru Lord. So this guy goes to the island to find out, you know, where is the Niskaru Lord sealed at. And that's where we have to go to find out where he's going. So we talk to this dude. He's a old friend of the Warsworn. And we're like, hey, we need to go to this cursed island to find out about some cursed seals and figure out how to stop the summoning of a Niskaru Lord. He like, if it wasn't the Warsworn, ain't no way in hell I'd be going to the island. But hey, I owe you guys a debt, and I'm gonna refill it or repay it. I'm like, bet. So then we go and tell Gwen, yo, the ship dude is on board, ready to leave whenever you are. She like, good, let's go. I'm just gonna prepare a couple things and we're gonna head off. And I'm like, bet, let's roll. We get there and the island is chocked full of chaos mages. Just so many mages. I'm so fucking sick of these guys. They take forever to kill because they keep teleporting. You can't stun lock them. They just fuck off. I tell you, just like, oh my god, they are infuriating to fight. I don't know why I started talking to her. I really had no reason to. I don't think she even tells you anything. So, this is the end of the dungeon, essentially. We kill off these guys, and we take a look at the mirror in the back. Finish this guy off with some fate weaving magic. Snap, just cut him in half. So the mirror basically predicts. It shows the first sworn fighting an army of Niskaru up to the big bad who was trying to summon the Niskaru Lord. He kills him, and then he breaks the crown of the Niskaru Lord, sailing him back into the mountain that he's in. So we do all that. We seal him. So the first sworn seals up the Niskaru Lord, and now the new bad guy is heading to this place to break the seal on the Niskaru Lord's tomb. Essentially, it's like a tomb. I'm not 100% sure it could be called a tomb. And that's pretty much the gist of the thing. That's everything. So we gotta... Oh, well, that's not everything. We gotta get the hammer that the first sworn used to kill the Niskarus and break the Niskaru Lord's crown. So we have to get to the first sworn's tomb, find the hammer, then reforge the hammer, and once we do that, then we can go and kill a Niskaru and stop the Niskaru Lord from being resurrected. I don't know how many times I've said Niskaru Lord, Niskaru this, Niskaru that. I'm so fucking tired of saying Niskaru. So we tell the captain, like, hey, we need to get into the first sworn. We need to get into the first sworn's tomb. He's like, only the Warsworn or something, pledge or whatever, some stupid ass title. He's like, you got to be this title to get into these sacred grounds. And I'm like, bruh, okay, just give me a title so I can go. Oh, it's Oathblade. I gotta be an Oathblade. So he gives me a title, Oathblade, and then we skedaddle off to the first Sworn's tomb to get his hammer. I think there's a seal on the door that only I can break because I can change fate. So we get there. Oh, I don't know where we at right now. I forgot what this is. But we talk to Gwen. And we're like, hey, I'm an oath shield now, or oath blade or something. Let's go and get the hammer of Niskaru Bane or whatever. And she's like, alright, let's go. So we get there, we get the hammer, but it's broken, so we gotta reforge it. So we gotta go to the forge that is somewhere. I don't know. I forget where it's at. All these places kind of blend together after a while. She's talking about some bullshit. I don't know what she's saying. She's talking about the Niskaru. Oh, she's talking about the events that unfolded years ago. And I'm like, we talked about this already at the mural. Don't you remember that? But she's like, I just want to go over it just to make sure. It's like, I can change fate. Alright, I got this. Alright, so don't worry. I got this. So after we share words for a little longer, we pop up at the place. I guess I already got the hammer and forged it in that one section. Okay. So here's the big bad. He's talking shit. He's like, what are you doing, you fool? I can use the power of the Niskaru Lord to win the war and save all of Farland, Phaland, or whatever it's called. And I'm like, dude, you're a dumbass. Do you really think you can control the Niskaru Lord? You think y'all's gonna have some kind of symbiotic relationship where you give him something, he gives you something? No, he's gonna take you over completely and destroy the entire world. And he's like, damn, you might be right, but I'm kind of balls deep into this right now, so I can't really turn around and back out. And I'm like, oh my god, you're really gonna get us all killed. He's like, well, he's like, don't worry about it, I can do this, I got the skills. And I'm like, you don't got the skills. And I kill him, but he makes it really difficult. Like, first I gotta kill a bunch of his little fledgling chaos mage nutballs, and then once he actually comes out, like, see, he's behind the shield right now, I can't get him. And I was like, damn, I wasted my fate thing. So I'm like, alright, whatever, damn. I knock off his little cronies. I think I snapped one's neck or something just out of frustration. Especially that goddamn mage back there. He is a motherfucker. I hate him. So I kick him in his chin, grab his neck, and yank it left and right just to pull that bitch off. And then he comes out. And when he comes out, he starts summoning Niskaru left and right. He summons like 3 Niskaru to fight with him. And man, this hammer, it may do more damage to Niskaru, but it do not do enough damage to make this fight easy. Like, I've been doing this on very hard, but still, I could knock them out in like 2 to 3 swings, I think, with my greatsword that I had equipped. But with this fucking hammer, it's so slow, and you get left open for attacks if you miss. So I'm sitting here just trying to kill these Niskaru and deal with this guy, but it's just so hard because the hammer is very slow, and the damage is not good enough, even with the buff against Niskaru specifically. You would think I'd be able to kill him in a few hits, but it takes me like 2 combos, I think 3 combos to kill them, and deal with this guy. And then you got him shooting at you, and it's like, just fuck off. And then you think, okay, I killed the Niskaru, I should be fine now. But no, they just come back infinitely. So I just said, forget about it. I'm just gonna focus on him because it's not worth it to try to kill Niskaru while he is out and about. So I murk him, and then Niskaru die soon after. And after I kill him, the Niskaru Lord's like, oh, that dude was weak anyway, but you seem kind of strong, so how about me and you team up, and I give you incredible power. And I'm like, no, this is a good playthrough, so I'm not gonna do that. You can keep your bitch ass in that tomb. And he like, alright, bet. Watch, when I do get out, I'ma slap your dumb ass for rejecting my power. And I'm like, if you get out, bitch. And that was that. That was the conversation. That's entirely what it consisted of. So I throw up the deuces, leave, and he's salty. He's trying to act big and bad, but he's salty. He know he's gonna be trapped there for the rest of his fucking life, which is forever, until the world is destroyed by whatever forces, be it a meteor or someone being a dickhead. We run into Gwen. She's like, yo, I saw you over there fighting all those Niskaru. And I'm like, why didn't your bitch ass come over and help? She was like, you seem like you had it. And I'm like, no, I ain't really have it. I was getting my ass jumped for the first second. And she's like, nah, you cool. You got the hammer. And fate was on your side. Like, bitch, whatever. All right, I'm out. Deuces. I get to the forge where I remade the hammer. Everybody's there. They're like, oh, shit. You're like super crazy legendary now, dog. You killed the Niskarus and basically recreated an old prophecy, and no one else but you deserves the title of sworn to war or whatever. I don't know what the fucking title is. I don't really care what the title is. All I really want is that fate twist, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get that bonus to my might and all my other stuff. But that's the entirety of the Warsworn questline. I know this is probably really bad, and I apologize for that. I apologize for the last video too. That video was bad, but you know, if you're sticking it out, thank you. And I hope you have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video.